Hey guys, I bought a pile of shit. Oh, as part of doing what I do in this business and fixing Lexuses and LS400s and 1UZ engines, I get to know a lot of people, and I get quite a lot of phone calls, and sometimes people just give me a call and say, hey, I've got this old car I want to get rid of, or at a dismantler, for example, just at the end of last year, ring me and say, hey, I've just got a Lexus come in, you want the engine? And he gave me a price, and it ended up going down to a Hopi. So that's getting fitted at the moment into a Hilux. Turns out it was like a 2003, 2004 GS 430 engine with the 6-speed behind it. So that's going to be interesting. But in this case, it was a young guy who owns a Sora that he's turbocharged, and he bought this pile of shit in the idea that he might fix it up. And he probably came to the realization after doing a few things that it was probably wasting his money. So he thought he'd sell it and instead buy a LS430. So he's quitting a couple of cars. He's also got a Legacy, Subaru Legacy that he's getting rid of. And I've bought this old Celsior. It's about a 98. It's VVti. And he told me a few things about it. And I did my maths, had a bit of a think. And I've basically brought an engine and a gearbox. And the rest of the car comes for free. That's about what we're paying, possibly a little bit cheaper than I'd pay from a dismantler actually. Of course, on this one, it's a private sale, so total curb warranty. As soon as it drove off the curb, there was no warranty. It's pretty much let the buyer beware. And Jason was pretty honest about everything on it, as much as he could. We had a look at a Sora, took that for a spin. 350 kilowatts at the back wheels is pretty impressive in a Sora. And now I'm driving this pile of shit Celsior back home. Some people would know it as a LS400. It was actually quite funny, I was looking for the cruise control and I couldn't find it because the steering wheel isn't straight. So there's the steering wheel well off straight and the cruise control's way down there. On the dash it looks like a Christmas tree. I've got height adjusting flashing because it's had the airbags ripped out of it. So I'm pretty sure that makes it a UCF20. There's a whole lot of Japanese in the middle of the screen flashing away. We've got a red light over there. We've got a handbrake light flashing, probably because the back brakes are low. He told me about that. The important things are good. The fuel gauge has got some, and the temp gauge is showing halfway. Speedo is way out. I just ran my GPS on it a few minutes ago, and that's well out. So this has had a set of different wheels put on it, and they were just to get me home. They were left over off a Sora, so that's not unusual for the Speedo to be wrong with different size wheels. I've been driving it for about half an hour and it's just started with a misfire. That gives me something to fix. I picked a bit of bog out of the right rear guard. Engine itself looks okay. I have been driving with the windows down because the air conditioning isn't working. One of those codes is for a radiator temp switch. I didn't realise that these have the windows that go up, and if they're not set up correctly they go back down again when they reach the top. So I can show fixing that. And I'm not actually sure what I'm going to do with it. I may just strip it out, pull it to pieces, or I might fix it and use it for a little while. But one thing I do know I'm going to do is build an adapter to run an aftermarket computer as a plug-in unit to run the engine, and leave the stock ECU in situ to run the transmission and run the rest of the car. So this is kind of my test mule for that job. I actually hope to do a non-VVTi UCF20 as well, because I've got a heap of room beside the factory ECU to fit an aftermarket ECU, and I've always got really good results out of the Gen 1, Gen 2, the early non-VVTi engines, when I fit up an aftermarket ECU to them and leave the factory one to run the trans. With this one, the interior is kind of stripped out. Here's my shifter, proper VVTi shifter because it's a VVTi. I accelerated before and the display screen ended up on the shifter, and the seats are out at the back because he was doing some rear subframe bushes, and there's some subframe bushes on the floor. Apparently it had a new windscreen in it. The windscreen is nice and clear, but look at the wipers, watch this. Look where they sit. So when they put the windscreen in it, they stuff that up. When I get where I'm going, we'll have a walk around the outside. We might even ask you guys to see what you think I should do with it, whether I should fix it or whether I should pull this engine out and put it in something else. I've got a little while before I have to make a decision. I don't really have an exact plan on this job, which is pretty normal for me. Things will just happen, and having a spare engine, a spare engine never hurts, especially when it's wrapped up in a nice package like a car. This one's only actually done 174, 800. There's bog, big bit of bog there.
That's awesome, mate. No one ever says that to you, eh?
But if you want to go do donuts, fuck yeah. Yeah, go for it.
What's in the boot, isn't it?
A dead body. It's got a stereo rack. It's had an old stereo in it. Like, inside's all been torn to pieces. We should open it up. The bonnet's all scruffy. The bonnet's bloody... That's really bad. Oh no, the amp's probably going to come out, eh? So there's an amp there. Oh no, might be okay. So it's had a big stereo system in it. Yeah, it's just a bell housing or something else. And there's the covers for the engine bay. Spare steering rack out of a UCF20.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of extra cables and shit in there.
Oh, look at all that fucking shit. And RCA leads and shit.
Yeah, a whole lot of extra stuff just hanging out in there.
What's that, an ECU?
I don't know.
Or a BCM?
That's the display, I believe. Multi-display, ECU. Stealing some cables? Just go for it. Oh yeah, go for it, man. Just a VVTi. It's alright. Actually drives okay. It drives quite nice. It's just a VVTi Lexus. It's got a bucket radiator. You know, had a bit of a glue up, but it's got a big amp cable going through it.
Clean fucking air filter.
Yeah, it has.
Hey?
It has, yeah.
Brand new air filter. It's got a good battery. Look at the fucking fuse for the fucking power lead.
Yeah, mate. See, the rats have been chewing over here. Rats have been chewing on that,
Yeah.
that rubber booty.
Was there any rats when you got on it?
Nah.
Or they just fucked off? They dropped out on the highway when you fucking
Yeah,
down the motorway, do they?
Time about's been done at 50,000 k's ago, so it's got a sticker. And it's like it's reasonably clean and tidy. It's like, he's not covered in oil leaks. Because they would have had airbags factory.
Yep.
So it's had them taken out. It's got coils. And what these things do is they...
That's not a very old looking battery.
Oh, if they're really low, they rub the wiring underneath the guards. So I'll have to check that too. We'll just chuck that out of the way where it was. Or just coil it and put it by that alarm. Yeah, mate. Gas struts are buggered, but oil's a bit black. Put a little bit extra oil in it.
A little gravy.
It's had a bit of a hiding in all this. That's just full of bile, eh? So it's been pulled out. Oh, they came off another car. They were off a Sora.
Did you have to wait for him to put them on?
No, he did them during the week. No, we went for a drive in a Sora. It's got a Sora that's got just under 500 horsepower, 350 kilowatts. I'll find something to do with it. Got a bit of an exhaust on it. It had no mufflers in it, so it was really, really loud. And Mr. Policeman didn't like that. Oh, it's got a bit bigger pipes or something under there. Oh, I'll get it up in the air and we'll see what it's like. So the rear mufflers, normally got rear mufflers at the back here. They're gone. Some bushes and the suspension is meant to be buggered.
Yeah. Fucking shit up and underneath.
Yeah, mate. So that's your rear air conditioning unit.
Hey?
It's all, yep, rear air conditioning. The air conditioning isn't working on it, so it's been a little bit of a hot drive.
What's this here? Is this the motor for electric power steering?
Ah, no, so that's a variable solenoid, variable speed for the steering.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's pretty kind of clever on these.
Wow.
Yeah, mate. So, my pile of shit. We'll see what I do with it now. But if you want to go out and do burnouts, just go for it. Go hard. Check it. It's been a couple of weeks since I picked up this piece of crap. And there's a bit of a warning here for you. Now you should be really careful, one, what you say to your mates, and two, how you choose your mates. Now, I did say that Toddy could go do a burnout in the car. And he had a great time. In fact, he is still raving over it. And of course, because the interior is kind of in pieces, they were holding the traction control button off while trying to abuse my car. I don't actually have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is they didn't get any footage. The pricks didn't get out the camera and get a video. I have given Toddy a stern warning and said next time he's got to get the phone out and get some footage. So this is the last leg of the trip back home, and I've still got to decide exactly what I'm going to do with this car, whether I strip it or whether I fix it. I cut the alarm out of it this morning because the alarm was already kind of playing up and the batteries were going flat. So 10 minutes under the dash and the alarm's gone. And I've had time to think about some of the videos I might do. One of them is going to be removing the annoying speed limiter. I know the Japanese cars have the speed cut at 180. Which may not seem like a big deal to most people, but try when you put it in a conversion and you change from a 3.9 diff, I think they're a 3.9, someone can confirm on that for me, and you go to a 4.3 or a 4.5 or a 4.8, and then that speed cut comes in at 130, maybe even 120 k's an hour. And that can cause some real problems with a vehicle where you've got increased speed limits. So I'm going to do that. I may also do a video on the low idle speed problem that these have. I may also go over the temperature circuit in them for the 10 gauge to try to explain that. It's actually a really simple circuit, but a lot of people don't understand it. It's also going to be the test machine for an adapter to plug in an aftermarket ECU. I can then get out and I can road test it, see what it drives like, check everything's working like it should. As of yet, I may actually fix it. I'm kind of tending not. I may happen to have a spare Sora shell lying around, so there's always a chance I'll end up with a VVti Sora with a 5-speed. It'd be kind of nice. But we really will see how this car comes up. So look forward to some videos on this one. If you've got some requests on particular subjects, and if I've got time, I may be able to belt out a video. I've got a fair bit of work booked in the next little while, so this one isn't on my immediate agenda, being my own car. Although what often happens is a customer comes in and needs a solution, and this becomes the solution. So I hope you're all having a great day, and we'll talk to you again later.